Netflix has had enough with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, switching them over to a new contract that they're willing to carry. The funny thing is, it's a contract of nothing. They have no guarantees, nothing that Netflix is sure to want to buy. And oh, by the way, they're not the biggest celebrity, not by far, that's being turned over to such a contract. What if we told you that above Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, now under such a guarantee from Netflix, are the Obamas? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, damas y caballeros, welcome back to the channel that continues to serve up the truth with a capital T on a platter that is indeed silver. The chatter here is real, and folks, we're ready to dive into what's going on with the Holly Weirds. As we do so, click the like button, and if we've not yet earned your subscription, well, that's what we're aiming for with yet another video of excellence now on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hollywood Reporter has this one. It is the latest to fall in the woke-pocalypse. Tony Maglio has this one. Netflix downgrades Meghan Markle and Prince Harry to a first-look deal, just like the Obamas. If you ask the streamer, it's an extension. This is a big deal, and not just because of Meghan Markle. If it was just about Meghan Markle or Prince Harry, this is not the kind of thing that we would carry. However, folks, hang tight because we've got stories here to talk about. Netflix has extended its creative partnership with Archewell Productions, Prince Harry and Meghan's The Duke and Duchess of Sussex media company, with a multi-year first-look deal for all of Archewell's film and television projects. In practice, it is a downgrade from the 2020 overall deal that birthed Harry and Meghan. Polo and With Love. Meghan. Among other projects. The overall to first look extension mirrors the move Netflix made recently with the Obamas, as well as others, for their Higher Ground banner. In both cases, the exclusivity carried by their respective splashy original deals has been removed. Folks, let me explainify why this matters so. It's because Netflix spent big bucks to get the Obamas to say that, hey, we'll give you some stories. And the belief there was not only could Netflix then use the Obama name to drive ratings, but also Netflix would then say, hey, dear Obamas, we could use some help with some stuff. Now, listen, that's a theory. That's me speculating, but you all know the reason these companies give out these giant checks to famous people with power. And for the past decade, very few had as much power as people like the Obamas. Harry and Meghan, with their connections with royalty, maybe so as well. But nothing went well for Netflix with the connection with the Obamas or with these former royals who have turned the UK almost entirely against them. So how do you get out of that situation if you're Netflix? How do you deal with the fact that you've got some big names that if you defame them, their fans, their followers are going to hate you and might cancel the subscriptions? What do? Well, you give these wokesters a first look contract. And you know what that means? It means that when they make something, when they've got a script or they got a story idea or they got a sitcom or they got a real life kind of thing going on, Netflix gets to see it before anybody else. And then before anybody else, Netflix gets to consider whether or not they want to buy it. It is the weakest of weak kinds of contracts in the entertainment industry. It is a giant nothing burger. A giant nothing burger. It is weaker than a retainer because all it means is when you do something, let us know. We'd like to look at it before anybody else. That's it. But it exists as a contract so that they don't have to admit, yeah, you know, in the age of Trump, this Obama thing really isn't helping us, and we didn't get any good stuff out of that. Michelle's podcast really failed hardcore. And, you know, Meghan's not really pulling any viewership. In fact, people actually rather loathe her and her hubby. They don't have to say that. They don't have to admit that. They get to say, well, we signed another contract. Meanwhile, there's really nothing to it. Panel, I see this as a continuation of the cancellations, right? I think this is cancellation light. They're not ordering anything. They're just saying, well, you know, maybe you make something. We'll put 4 stars on it and stick it on our fridge for you. That's it. Lauren, you like that comment, I think. Lauren, let me go to you and see what you think about this. I think this is right along with what we've seen with Colbert. I think it's what we're going to see with Kimmel, what we've already seen with Howard Stern. In this case, it's an easier letdown. It's an easier letdown. What say you?
I suppose. I think that we've just come to the place in the culture where people are tired of seeing people who consider themselves our betters showing off their glamorous lifestyle while people are struggling, or lecturing us about what we should be doing while we're struggling. And so I think that all of the content providers are coming to that realization that maybe now is not the time to be rubbing people's noses in the elites' lifestyle. And so I think you're going to start seeing more traditional stuff coming back.
Absolutely. If you want to see what tepid looks like, folks, let's read the quote from Netflix as they basically say a fond farewell, just one that involves some paperwork and maybe an itsy bitsy teeny weeny amount of money. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Netflix said this: Harry and Meghan are influential voices whose stories resonate with audiences everywhere. The response to their work speaks for itself. Harry and Meghan gave viewers an intimate look into their lives and quickly became one of our most watched documentary series. Yeah, I bet that's a real challenge. And one of our most watched. It's not the most watched. It's not in our top 10. It's not in our top 50. It's one of the most watched documentary series. Right up there with Pangolins, An Intimate Encounter. More recently, that goes in the Hall of Fame. More recently, fans have been inspired by With Love Meghan, with products from the new As Ever line consistently selling out in record time. We're excited. It's easy to do that when you make 5 of each. We're excited to continue our partnership with Archwell Productions and to entertain our members together. There's no real blue ribbon there, panel. There's no like actual stat that says, yeah, this was the #1 show for like 5 weeks running, or there's none of that. It's just tepid praise in ways that you can get out of. It's flowery language.
I didn't think anybody liked them, Harry. So what you're saying by the first look, right? Netflix has the option to look at something, they can pass it on, and then it can go to Disney Plus, and it can be Meghan and Harry go to Disneyland.
Ron, I really like Pangolins, An Intimate Experience. That's a documentary now that I've said it that needs to be in existence.
Where did she come from? Wasn't she like a letter turner or something? Wasn't she like a Vanna White type personality?
Yeah, she was on Let's Make a Deal. She was one of the ladies holding the briefcases.
Oh, God.
And Harry met her and said, "Yep, let's do it."
Oh, God, it just
literally do it.
So, yeah. Sometimes I look at the things that are in the cultural zeitgeist and I'm like, how did we end up here today? It is so much that just does not make any sense to me whatsoever, but somebody must like it. In a world of 8 billion people, 1 million is not a lot, but it's enough. It's not a large percentage, but it's a large group of people as far as eyeballs and advertising, and that's the only reason they can do it. But what it seems to me like is that they're not even drawing that their time has come and gone. Their 15 minutes are over, kind of like the Obamas, and we just don't want to see them anymore.
Well, it's just fascinating. Whatever your politics are, the Obamas don't have the same political power they did, right? The Democrat Party is in a time of transition. We don't know if they'll be successful in the transition or not. But what we can say is that the Obamas are not as hot as they were. Michelle came out with that podcast, and it's kind of been embarrassing to them. So when you've got that kind of a situation, Netflix doesn't need them the way they did before. And Netflix is now, they don't want to hard cancel them. They want to soft cancel. They will say, here's a contract that says when you make something, we'll look at it. That's the extent of the contract. But the Obamas, they don't command the same kind of control they did. And we're seeing this collapse in, I guess, what the gatekeeping system of the Democrats and the left over the last decade and a half. We're seeing this across just so many different areas, whether it is 60 Minutes, CBS News, ABC News with George Stephanopoulos, what we saw with Facebook, what we've seen with Colbert, what we're seeing with Howard Stern. I mean, we can go on and on. The View, right? We're likely to have major changes coming down the pike. So all of this is happening, and it seems to me that it's a huge ecosystem of power and availability that is being taken away, struck from these individuals who have enjoyed it so. Jeremy, am I missing anything there? Give us a little extra context of what you think is happening.
So I think the greatest metaphor for this show is the scene of Meghan dumping snacks from one bag into another bag. And they're going from a contract where Netflix dumped millions on them and said, you know, just give us what you come up with. We'll figure out the content later, to you've got to give us something before we give you anything else. And this is across the board for television. You now need things that people watch or pay money for. You can't, even with Netflix, who has the coffers to pull it off, they're not going to keep rewarding people with money without some type of input or value. And that's a big shift, because these celebrities, especially Meghan and Harry, they are not used to any type of performance-based salary at this point. They're just used to, pay us, and I swear next time I'll dump 2 bags of snacks into a Ziploc bag, and you'll get double the content.
And I'll tell you this too, Jeremy, that's a great point. The new media, we've said it before, we'll say it again, the new media has kind of taken over, and Netflix knows that. Netflix knows they've got to compete now. They can't do what they used to do. And it turns out that people like Meghan Markle, they don't bring viewership. It doesn't matter if she's a former royal, right? It doesn't matter the connections that she has. It doesn't matter if they were part of the elites in the last 20 years. The new media is the elites now. And if you fire somebody like Gina Carano, you can crash an entire streaming service and its chances. But if you hold on to somebody like the Obamas or Meghan Markle, it doesn't do anything. It turns out the real stars are the people that people really like. And that's an optimistic thing, I think. Vash, I'll give you the final word on all of it.
It's so utterly fascinating, because I think Jeremy really, really honed in on it quite well. It's like, we're going to give out money to who might be influential for us, to go off of what you said, Pro, but also to who might be culturally relevant. And, when when the check comes due and these shows haven't performed, and these people fall off in terms of cultural relevancy or influential power, both with audiences and maybe beyond that, well, the paradigm does shift and it does change. And I think we're seeing a reflection of that. I think we're seeing a reflection of the culture actually shifting in a big way by providing them deals that wouldn't be consistent with their actions even just a couple of years prior. So it's just I think it's utterly fascinating, and I think this is definitely a reflection of the culture shifting, not just in terms of entertainment, but also celebrity and who people watch, who people follow, and who people really want to see. The Meghan Markle stuff I think is particularly fascinating, because man, there's a lot of drama out there connected to what she's been producing right there. So good times.
There you go. And Netflix racing to get more K-pop demon hunters out. Meanwhile, saying we'll pass on Barack, Michelle, and Meghan Markle. Fascinating times, folks. We'll keep an eye on it as the dominoes continue to fall. We're not here to say the right is right, the left is wrong, or anything like that. We stay out of politics, but we are here to recognize when entertainment is impacted by the changing tides of the politicos. And there you go. It's always sad when one of these video ends, and yet it is the beginning of the wait for the next one to land. 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. And by the way, there's plenty more on our partner channels, That Part Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and go check out the original music we have on stations like Vacation Radio. We'd love to have you, love to entertain you. At least we'll do a better job than some of the current entertainment companies. Folks, like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Drop a comment right on down below. Share this out anywhere you go on social media. And until the next time we have the honor, the pleasure of getting to spend time with you, When you choose to invite us into your day to add the value that we hope to bring your way, we ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah.
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.